Okay, so I got my order in from Greenspace.id. I've never done international shipments of plants before, so this will be exciting. I ordered 6 plants, and they're all in this box. I haven't opened anything yet. All I did was take out the shipping papers and everything, so let's see what we got going on here. So I placed the order like mid-ish March, and due to, you know, all of the pandemic stuff, they basically told me, hey, we're not going to ship this until we're comfortable with it going through customs and making it through. And I said, that's fine, no worries, just ship it when you can, I'll be here. And so, yeah, they didn't give me notification they were going to ship, but I got notification that it had shipped. And they actually did a very good job, or the shippers did. They used DHL, which I've always had good experience with outside of buying plants, usually through work. So when they saw they were using DHL, I was very excited about that. They generally do a pretty good job. Okay, I see paper and I see a plant. Okay, oh my gosh, that is a plant. I thought this was just paper. Okay. Oh my goodness. Before I ruin anything. Yeah, they did not spare a single centimeter here. So what the paper I was pulling on was an actual plant. So I'm gonna stop pulling on that right now. Might have killed it, we'll see. Okay. All right, so I see what they call this one, so I know what this one is. They mark it on the outside of the paper, which is nice, or at least like a little shorthand. These names can get a little long. The paper's a little damp, but not like wet, enough that it still feels like paper. Oh, that's not too bad at first glance. Oh my goodness, okay. And there's a little tissue wrapped around the center to keep all the stalks together. Okay, so here's one. All right, we got some aerial rootage. This aerial root is totally busted, but that's all right. Aerial roots are aerial roots. So this leaf has the whole tip broken off, but here is the other leaves, which don't look too bad. They got little nicks and whatever, but at least the plant itself looks pretty good. I mean, it comes with 4 leaves. Oh, this is the Philodendron Atabopoense. So they come with those nice long leaves like that. And I've never seen one in store, ever, anything like that. I'm actually kind of surprised at the leaf texture, because I was expecting it to be much more delicate, but it's actually pretty hardy. Yeah, so aside from this one leaf that has a hole, and then it clearly got the tip kind of broken off, that's not too bad. All right, moment of truth, let's check on the roots here. So it comes in like a plastic shrink wrap bag almost, and then it's got tissue around it, and the tissue is fairly moist. I wouldn't say it's wet by any means, but it still has some dampness to it, so that's encouraging, maybe. And it's wrapped really well, like I don't know where the end of it is. Oh, there we go. So it's kind of mummified in there. This is literally like a mummy. I'm seeing white roots. That's a good sign. So the root ball is actually pretty good size. Obviously, look at that. So that's the roots. On the back side, there's some that are clearly not doing as great. Or maybe that's how they're supposed to be. They're just a little more barky because all the light ones are stemming off of that. This looks pretty dang good. That root is rot, but oh, whatever. I mean, that is a pretty healthy looking root structure there, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, so for shipping from overseas, that is pretty darn good. Okay, so that's plant 1. So I ended up just putting it in a ball jar. I've got a couple of these, but not enough for all the plants, so I'll just set that aside for now. And I've got an extra pot, just something to keep it upright. Okay, so plant 1 done. Excellent. Let's move on to the next one that's easiest to get out of here. All right, so I will take this one out. So, ooh, okay. Let's see what this one is. I'm very excited. Oh, but I'm already seeing a yellow leaf. Oh well, let's not jump to conclusions here. Oh no. And same thing with the other one. The paper is slightly, you can tell it's got some moisture on it, but it's not too bad. Still feels like paper. Still holding it all together. All right, I'm seeing green. It's not all yellow, dire situation here. Oh, it's so cute. Okay. So that's my little yellow leaf, but here's the big one here. You know, compared to the size of my head, it's probably about the size of my hand, a little smaller. And I've got 2 other leaves here. So we've got this one on this side and this one on this side. But this is the Philodendron Gloriosum. Oh my goodness. Okay. So plant itself looks pretty good. There's actually not a lot of damage on these. I mean, there's little marks on the big one. You can see there's little marks, but you know, it's with the type of shipping it has to go through, that I was expecting that. That's nothing. But these smaller leaves, you know, this one has a tiny nick there, but this one's pristine, so this is actually pretty nice. All right, moment of truth, we're gonna go for the roots here. All right, so this one's bound a little easier to unravel than the other one. So here's the roots for that one. Once again, they look pretty good. Anybody? Cat is very interested in all new things. I'm pretty happy with it, assuming I know what I'm looking for. But yeah, that's the Philodendron Gloriosum. And this leaf? I don't know. Cute. All right. I will now take the one that I pulled out by the top, which was not smart. Let's see if I strangled it to death. Ooh, maybe. Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay. Okay. It seems to be all right. All right. Okay, so these stems feel really good. So this is a Alocasia Frydek. So this one looks like the oldest leaf because it's got some yellowing going on and some spotting. So that one may not last too much longer, but that's okay. That's what happens. We have a smaller leaf here, with a little bit of discoloration also, but this one looks pretty stellar. Ooh, come on, big guy. I want to show this one off. So that one actually looks pretty darn good. So this one is the oldest, followed by this one, and then this little one is the most recent, based on the stem. So funny thing about this Alocasia Frydek, it's been on my wish list and it's been on my wish list for better part of a year. Like when I was first getting into houseplants, this was on my short list just because of how cool it was. And I liked the contrast between, you know, the dark leaves and the veins. I was all about it. And I had never seen one in person. So see how dark it is compared to the veining. The veining's not quite white, but it is so close to white, and it's just, oh, it's beautiful. But I've never seen one in store, not even for like a crazy amount of money. And I thought, I'm never going to be able to see one. I should just order one. So when I was shopping around, I was seeing them for, you know, $40, $60 or $20 for a very, very small one. And so I'm like, well, wow, I'm doing these international orders to get some, like the Atabopoense and the Gloriosum. Hi, honey. Yes, I know, they're all very exciting. If I let him smell it for too long, he will start chewing on them. That's why I'm kind of shoving him away. But I was like, oh, why don't I order them from overseas? And because they're alocasias and they're very fussy, or at least to me they're fussy how I raise plants, because I've bought alocasias and just immediately all their leaves fall off. And I know you can keep them and stuff, and I'm trying to rehabilitate one right now, but I was so paranoid that they were going to die on shipment. So in this order, I ordered 2 of them. They were $20 a piece. I thought, why not? And then, you know, I'm in Michigan and they just opened up plant nurseries again. So I was like, sweet, let me go to my favorite plant shop in the area and just see what they have. I needed some supplies. I wanted to support them because they hadn't been open for about a month and a half. And lo and behold, they had an Alocasia Frydek, a good size, for $20. And I thought, oh my gosh, I cannot, in good conscience, let this stay here and not bring it home with me. And then I got the notification they were shipping this one, and I was like, oh no. So now, if this one and the other one in here survives, I will have 3 Alocasia Frydeks when 4 days ago I had 0. But yeah, oh my gosh, these roots look fantastic. Look at this. Just like a little tuber, but I don't see anything that's brown. Nothing smells funny. No, that just smells like a good plant covered in dirt. No, that's fantastic. So that's for sure, at least the root ball, maybe not the leaves, but at least the root ball will survive for that one, I'm pretty sure. So here's the other Frydek. I'm gonna probably zoom through this one a little bit. Oh, see, this one is itty bitty. So they gave me a nice big ol' honkin' one, and then they gave me one that was itty bitty. And this one's already on the way out. So this lone little leaf is gonna keep it alive. Like, compare these two. Like, the smallest leaf on this one, which is this one right here, compared to the one that's on this plant. Look at that. It's like 2/3 the size. Yeah, so I might be adding this little cutie patootie to that list of things I am willing to trade for. I'm getting a little more confident with my unrolling. Also, just the root balls on these are just very compact compared to the other 2. So it's very, it's much less sprawled out and less likely to rip roots out. So the root system on this one is obviously smaller because it's, you know, the stem on this one compared to the stem on this one. Like, holy cow. But yeah, it all looks healthy. Nothing to be worried about. There's one that's kind of not great, but I can pull that one off and cut that off. So, no, looks pretty good. I think that's sustainable. All right, so far so good. 4 out of the 6 plants look pretty good. So this one is a, okay, I'm gonna get this name wrong. Monstera Karstenianum? Karstenianum, whatever. So it's also a Philodendron Opacum. Both names are the same thing. So I wanted to get this one because I've seen people with these and that has a little bit of damage, but that's not too bad. But I wanted to get this one because I love the texture on these. You know, it's very bumpy, like it's pretty ridged. That's how you can get that, you know, that gloss on it, how you can see all those shadows. Yeah, that's all texture and it's pretty hardy actually. But I love how terrestrial it looks. Almost like it was like Jurassic Park. And I love stuff like that. I'm a sucker for anything that looks kind of prehistoric. Well, I'm gonna start unwrapping. There's a chunk of plastic here that's wrapped really tight, and that'll take me, I would need a knife and some time and precision for that. So I do not have the patience at the moment because I want to see how good these roots are. Yeah. Roots also look very healthy. Nothing looks brown, well, it all looks brown because of soil, but nothing looks black or like it's decaying. So that one is pretty good. So yeah. Philodendron Opacum or Monstera I'm gonna do it again. Karstenianum. Put that one in my last ball jar there. This one is, aside from the Atabopoense, this one I was most nervous about. Okay, so it looks like the leaves got quite a bit of surface damage, but nothing is ripped or torn. That means the same thing, but you know what I mean? So this is Philodendron Melanochrysum. Yeah. So, you know, this got kind of bent along this line. I had to unfold it a little bit. So it's got some surface damage, but everything is pretty much intact, ready to photosynthesize. So here it is up against my head. When I ordered from Greenspace.id, this one was considered medium size, so I wanted to get medium. Also, right in the back here, we've got a new growth point coming up, so that's exciting. Hopefully it didn't take that lack of light and decide to grow at half size, but if that's what you want to do, philodendron, that's what you got to do. This one, the root structure kind of reminds me of the Philodendron Gloriosum, where there's, you know, so few that are attached to the plant, but they just sprawl. So I'm very nervous about accidentally popping one off if I pull too hard. Okay, so let's check. Ooh, this one is very long. Look at that root there. But yeah, this also looks pretty good. So this root here looks dried out and past its prime here, but everything else I am pretty happy with. Philodendron Melanochrysum medium. So you can see like the amount of damage we're working with, which is not like, this far exceeds what my actual expectations were. And this one by far got it the worst as far as damage during shipping goes. Because the Frydeks, I have them both in this pot. I put them next to each other because they're family. You know, there's hardly any marks on these whatsoever. I mean, this one's starting to go off, but, you know, it's an Alocasia. Who knows if that was from being in transit or from just, it was near its way out anyway. So those ended up pretty good without hardly any marks on them. The Philodendron Gloriosum has a couple of marks on the big leaf, but the other two major leaves look pretty good. One little mark there. The teeny one that's gonna go bad soon, which is just fine. Hi, kitty. And then this one just has the one leaf with some damage on it. But you can see on the back. But yeah, that one's pretty good. And then Mr. Atabopoense here, where there's a couple of little, like it was bent a couple of times, but honestly, I am super happy with that. There's one aerial root that's just straight up snapped in a couple places. Let's see if I can show you. And you see how this is supposed to go out like that, and it's broken here and then broken here. So yeah, it does. You can see how that's broken. But you know, it's an aerial root. A lot of people just cut those off anyway. Hey buddy, I know that smells so good. It smells like a snack, doesn't it? Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Yeah. The plants look to be in good health. You know, the fact that I got a Frydek that small with a Frydek that big is a little weird, especially when you order two. Like, when I get them, I'm going to compare them to each other. But maybe they were like, oh, we'll give her one that's really big and one that's on the smaller side because she's ordering two anyway. As opposed to maybe making somebody upset by sending them a little one when they paid $20 and international shipping for it. The Opacum / Karstenianum was $20 US. The Frydeks were each $20, or were $20 each. The Atabopoense was $40. The Gloriosum was $35. And then the medium-sized Melanochrysum was $35. Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm happy with all of this for the most part. I mean, I wouldn't give it an A because of the Frydeks and like some of the damage, I guess, but a strong hearty B+ or A-. So yeah, I would definitely order from them again. Thank you, Greenspace.id, for shipping and doing such a good job packing. And yeah, thank you so much. And I'll see you next time.